Now, for my Chesterton poem, I have something that is even shorter. And even though we're not in the Christmas season anymore, even for us Catholics, like that season is past, and has been past for a little bit now. You know what? You can still talk about Christmas. It's
Yeah,
still winter.
Jesus was a baby for more than 3 weeks.
Yep. Yeah, he hasn't gone anywhere. He's still a baby. He's still with us. And it's still winter. It's still really cold. And this week especially, we're recording this on January the 27th. It hasn't just been cold in my neck of the woods, where on the radio this morning they specified that the high today would be 8 above as opposed to below. But anyway, you could say that, in the midst of the darkness and the cold and everything else this time of year, this is still a fitting poem. So this is A Child of the Snows by Chesterton. There is heard a hymn when the panes are dim, and never before or again. When the nights are strong with the darkness long, and the dark is alive with rain. Never we know, but in sleet and in snow, the place where the great fires are. That the midst of the earth is a raging mirth, and the heart of the earth a star. And at night we win to the ancient inn, where the child in the frost is furled. We follow the feet where all souls meet, at the inn at the end of the world. The gods lie dead when the leaves lie red, for the flame of the sun is flown. The gods lie cold where the leaves lie gold, and a child comes forth alone. So the setting of this poem is like one of the nights that we've had recently, whether you live in Minnesota or Missouri or Texas. It's a dreary
Or
night.
anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Or around.
It's a dreary night. It's a cold night. It's a long night. The nights are strong with the darkness long, and the dark is alive with rain. So it's not even a still night. Like, it's just raining, or it's snowy. It's cold. It's unpleasant. Right? It's the type of thing you stay inside. It's the type of thing you don't want to venture into. It's the type of thing that you don't exactly embrace. And yet, at the very beginning, there is heard a hymn, when the panes are dim, and never before or again. So wait. What's that song? What's a song sung in the midst of this time? And only in the midst of this time? Begs the question. So let's continue. Never we know, but in sleet and in snow, the place where the great fires are. That the midst of the earth is a raging mirth, and the heart of the earth a star. So we only find the place where the great fires are. We only know the place where the great fires are in the midst of this cold, of this dark, of this sleet, of this snow. How does that work? How does that work? That's just the crucible of life. That's how love works. That's how testing, all the sacrifices we go through life, all the trials we go through life. That's how all of it works. We could just coast through life comfortable and not really accomplishing anything, right? But we wouldn't really find ourselves. We wouldn't really become the best versions of ourselves. We wouldn't become who we're made to be without the trials, without the sacrifices, without the cold, without the dark, without the sleet, without the snow, without the distinct discomfort of all of those things. But no, in the midst of that, we find things like a great fire. The opposite comes to light. In the midst of that cold, dark earth is a raging mirth. All right. So out of pain we find humor, I guess, right? But no, out of pain we find life and joy through our perseverance to it. And the heart of the earth a star. And at night we win to the ancient inn where the child in the frost is furled. We follow the feet where all souls meet at the end of the world. So a couple things from that. This is not your journey specifically. This is not Ethan's journey specifically. This is not my journey specifically. This is everybody's journey. We all are alive. This is how life works. You don't get to, opt out of that. That's what life is. And it's not a mere side quest you go on here and there. This is not like, I dallied with this thing to find meaning, right? No, this is the entire purpose. We follow the feet where all souls meet. We're all in this together. We're all doing this thing, or we all got to do this thing at the inn at the end of the world. So, the end of the world, something not exactly pleasant, and yet there is something simple there. There's something homely there. And there is a child furled there, and we know who that child is. And when we find him, we lay our lives down for him. We lay all those parts of our lives down that are not tuned towards God, are out of order, are out of sync with just the goodness, the grandeur, the beauty, the simplicity that is God. The gods lie dead when the leaves lie red, for the flame of the sun is flown. The gods lie cold when the leaves lie gold, and a child comes forth alone. It's like those gods are all those distractions in our life. All the doom scrolling that I do, all of the completely useless crap that I do, or the good things that I do but that are done intemperately, right? Those die, or those need to die. But we get presented the chance for them to die when Christ comes. And Christ comes when the world is dying, when things are dark, when things are dreary, in autumn. Everything's getting cold, and yet the leaves lie red, and the flame of the sun is flown. There's beauty coming out of it, even in that darkness. The gods lie cold when the leaves lie gold. So now it's winter. Things are even worse. Things are even drearier. And a child comes forth alone. And in that child we put our faith and our trust, and we have no choice but to do so.
I have a couple things to add. First, I think you've unintentionally drawn a poem. You've unintentionally chosen a poem that has parallel lines to the one that you recommended for me. In the inn at the end of the world is when we go to paradise by way of Kensal Green.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there are themes in the Rolling English Road that carry through everything we're reading.
I think that's just because that's Chesterton. And that's when an author has sort of the same kind of view of death, when he has his allegory of death that he continuously draws to, he will return to that in every opportunity. So Chesterton sees the end of the world and the end of your life as an inn. It's a time to rest. It's a time... The inn is where you gather at the end of the day. You've been working all day,
mm-hmm.
and now you go and drink. It's like the good parts of Valhalla. It's feasting and drinking. And it's rest. And heaven, paradise, is just beyond that rest. The inn at the end of the world. We will come and we will rest, and then when we leave the inn, we will know more beauty and magnificence than we have ever thought possible. The other that I want to draw, got to bring my mind back around to it. So Chesterton is illustrating God's habit of being ironic. When Christ was born, most pagan cultures at that time, particularly those that experienced, fall and winter. Fall, everything is dying, and winter is not supposed to be a happy time. The Norse don't have Bing Crosby singing Silver Bells in the background all the time.
No, doesn't sound like it.
No. We do, and I'm very happy for that. But most pagan cultures see fall and winter as times of dying and death. Ending. And especially when the world is harsh and hard and you have to make your living by the sweat of your brow, the blood of your hands, and the breaking of your own back. It's all you can do just to make it through the winter. Now, Palestine does not really have a winter. Kind of like Los Angeles. It's nice all the time. But when this news is spreading to other cultures that actually do have wintertime, that's why most of our Christmas traditions come from the Germanic, the Gallic. They come from the Viking and the Saxon. At the time when the world is supposed to be dead, because that's how a lot of pagans saw it, was that at the end of the year the world dies, and at the beginning of the year it comes back to life. It's the reincarnation of spring, basically. Why was Christ not born at the beginning of spring? Because God does not follow the patterns of the pagans. We do not worship a pagan god. Christ is born shortly after the start of winter. The first day of winter is sometime in December. I think it's like the 12th or something. I'm not sure.
21st.
The 21st. I got the right numbers. They were just in the wrong order.
Partial credit.
So our Lord is born 4 days after the first day of winter. By the Gregorian calendar, anyway. When the world is supposed to have just died, there is now new life for everyone. There is now hope. The great hope of the universe comes when all is bleak and cold and dark. Because the author of the universe likes being ironic, and he likes flipping pagan traditions on their head. Rejoice, for he is born. Now, in the springtime, we have Easter, which is the rising to new life. But instead of winter just being constantly bleak and sad, and oh, we're just trying to survive, we have something to celebrate. And we have something to be hopeful about and to be thankful for. That was just a thought that I had, with the old gods lying dead, when the leaves lie red. He's also talking about, literally, the old gods. He's talking about Zeus, and Thor, and Moloch, and Baal. They all lie dead at the feet of Christ. And he had not but to touch them and to speak a word.
He just had to show up.
All he had to do was show up. And they vanish. So I just thought it was very, very interesting. Because especially since part of that, the world dying, is the gods abandon us at wintertime. And then when they come back in the springtime to see if we're still alive, then they bestow their graces upon us again.
Yeah, what a depressing worldview.
Yeah, I know.
And it's, like you said,
and people, and people think paganism is a good thing.
Oh, no.
No, all it does is make you sad and cold and tired and miserable.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's God showing up in the midst of something, but like, everybody hold up a second. I made winter. Winter's mine. Yeah, winter's a time where you feel the least hope, the least prospects, the least... I mean, you just spent the last 9 months preparing for this just so you could survive and make it through the next 9 months. Like, nah, we're going to make this the most glorious time.
He made the flame, and he made the frost. You have a reason to keep living, even in winter.
Yeah, and you have a God who cares for you, who sent his only son into the midst of that winter, just to be with you, and to die for you, you know? Yeah, could God have done the human thing by bringing him in the springtime? Sure. Could our redemption have been achieved by our God literally just showing up and being the great king over all and staying with us forever and ruling over the world? Like, actually ruling over the world physically in the way we conceive of how a king would?
In the only way that globalism could ever possibly work?
Yeah. Like, yes, he could have. And yes, that would have worked, and our redemption would have been achieved by it. But no.
He chose not to.
He chose to do the more fitting thing. To send his
People
son as
are
a
begging
babe
him
in
to
the
do
midst
it.
of the cold, and then to have that son die on a cross.
Yeah.
Excruciatingly.
The greatest victory coming from the greatest shame. Again, God's sense of irony.